Elder Yan faces off against the green-haired alien despite the vast difference in their strength. The elder proposes a competition in the arena according to the town rules. The green-haired alien hesitates but agrees after being reminded of the rules. Elder Yan's victory would result in Yu Zong being spared. Yu Zong is reluctant to involve the elder, while Han Li considers a strategy after hearing Xuantian's concerns. Han Li suppresses the alien race at the peak of the Void refinement stage with immense force, trapping it under a black hill. The alien race surnamed Gui intervenes, and Han Li is reminded that fighting within the pavilion is forbidden. Elder Yan dissuades Han Li, and the alien race surnamed Gui orders the green-haired alien to retreat. After passing the assessment, Han Li obtained the Thunderstorm Umbrella, which is valid for 1 month. Xuantian is preparing to take the test, but Deacon Min warns her of the high risks and suggests she withdraw. Deacon Min proposes 2 test methods: passing through an illusion or defeating a puppet beast. Deacon Min asks Han Li to leave the test site and keep the test content confidential. After leaving the attic, Han Li becomes curious about exploring the 5th floor of the attic. Within the Demon Mountain range, there were 2 layers of fog. The upper layer was gray, while the lower layer was pitch black, severely impeding the perception of divine consciousness. Han Li unleashed the divine clear spirit eyes ability, but he still could not see through the lower layer, which was hundreds zhang thick. The Crystal Clan female hired Yu Zong and Han Li to go deep into the Demon Mountain range. But because of the outbreak of demonic energy, there were certain risks in entering the remote areas. Yu Zong suggested taking the middle route, which would allow them to reduce the danger and reach their destination on time. After the 3 set off, several other groups entered the Demon Mountain range. Yu Zong discovered a group of low-level devil crows, which usually appeared with the high-level demonic beast, 3-headed badger, while Han Li, Xuantian, and Yu Zhang were flying. They encountered a swarm of bewitched flying mice, which Xuantian effortlessly killed. Yu Zhang sensed a powerful demonic beast pursuing them from behind and suggested they set a trap to slay it. Han Li confidently went to confront the beast and, moments later, returned with the severed head of a high-level multi-Eve demon. Yu Zhang recognized the rarity and danger of the multi-Eve demon and stated that its hypnotic eyeballs were a valuable material for refining, calming and stabilizing magic artifacts. The elder instructed Juya to track down and kill Han Li, the murderer of his son, and went to greet the soon-to-awaken saint ancestor. Juya accepted the mission to track Han Li, but worried about missing the opportune moment and being punished. The elder decided to greet the saint ancestor first and then reunite with Juya for revenge. Another group of aliens were searching for the herb fairy, but to no avail. During their flight, they encountered a mountain peak exploding, releasing a powerful black blade. The emaciated middle-aged man was killed by the blade, while the young man nearby was unharmed. The giant winged man learns of the shape-shifting demon, and summons beasts to search for the spirit herb immortal. The giant winged man instructs the giant toad to kill the spirit realm people and seize the device to track the spirit herb immortal. The 2 foreign groups chase each other in the mountains, and the man surnamed Gui kills the 3 blue-robed people, seizing the blood orb. The blue-robed people on the spirit boat beg the man surnamed Gui to spare them, but he refuses. The man surnamed Gui uses the blood orb's divine ability to break through the blue-robed people's spirit boat's defenses. The blue-robed people are melted and absorbed by the blood orb, and the man surnamed Gui devours the blood orb. Han Li, Qianqian, and Yu Zong enter a foggy area, with Han Li setting up the spring-light sword formation for protection. A strange insect suddenly gives a warning, and 5 high-level demonic beasts are seen approaching at high speed. Han Li activates the spring-light sword formation, forming a green light curtain that protects the trio. Qianqian uses a talisman to release cold air, dispelling the influence of the demonic beast's cries on Yu Zong. The leader of the demonic birds notices something unusual about Han Li and tries to recall his underlings, but it is too late. 4 demonic birds are trapped in Han Li's Spring Dawn sword formation and encounter a dense barrage of jade lotuses blocking their path. The demonic birds' attacks cause the jade lotuses to enlarge and create an illusion of a giant forest. The fire butterflies cannot penetrate the forest. The demonic birds collide with the trees and bounce off, causing them intense headaches. The leader of the demonic birds uses the golden crow true fire, forcing Han Li to reveal himself. Han Li uses the soul-devouring firebird to absorb the golden crow true fire, causing the high temperature to vanish. The leader of the demonic birds looks at the soul-devouring firebird with a mix of fear and greed and decides to capture it. Han Li and the colorful phoenix covered dozens of meters and joined the battle between the devouring firebird and the demonic bird. The demonic bird was frightened when it saw Han Li's true phoenix bloodline. The devouring firebird worked together with the colorful phoenix to trap the demonic bird. The demonic bird used the golden crow transformation, absorbing the golden crow true fire to enhance itself. Han Li used a secret technique to make the demonic bird abnormal. Han Li group is startled by mutant vulture-faced vultures. A pointed-eared woman tracks Han Li group and discovers the vulture's nest. Silver light appears where Han Li killed the demon bird. The pointed-eared woman casts a spell to investigate. Numerous demon beasts gather in a hidden mountain ravine in the Demon Gold Mountains. A giant clam directs the demon beasts to find a magic disc and a mushroom fairy. A blood parrot self-destructs above the mountain ravine. And blood-colored runes appear in the blood mist. A man in a blood-red robe in an underground stone house senses the blood parrot's self-destruction with concern. The man in the blood-red robe questions his subordinate about the iron-winged demon and the many-eyed one. Han Li and Qianqian enter the mountain range searching for the true spirit cave. Qianqian discerns a slumbering saint-rank beast using her demon smokebird and deems that it is the perfect time to make a move. Han Li steps into the fog wearing his scales, prepared to slay the saint-rank beast. Qianqian and the Qilin Phantom wait outside for the right moment to enter the true spirit cave while Han Li battles the beast. Yu Zong senses a disturbance and notices people from the Gui family approaching the mountain range. Gui's man launched a flying knife attack, which Zhu Yi dodged with a secret technique and summoned reinforcements. Han Li followed the demon smokebird into the demonic Qi passage. Speculating that the passage walls might contain restrictions, Han Li changed his position multiple times and used the silver firebird and golden light sword to investigate the surroundings. Finally setting up two Jia Yuan symbols to deal with the integration stage demonic beast with caution. The remains of the Qilin transformed into a shadow, and the girl used runes to control it, turning it into a black light that enveloped her and the green Qilin. Han Li sneaked into the demonic channel and observed a hall, in the center of which was a golden magic circle and a blood-colored bed, on which lay a wounded integration stage black ape. A golden beetle flew out from the mountainside, carrying Han Li's divine sense, and possessed the talent of concealing fossils, which allowed it to merge with rocks and soil. Han Li suspected that the woman of the crystal race was plotting something. But as long as it did not harm his interests, he was willing to turn a blind eye. Han Li observed the hall and confirmed that there were no restrictions. So he decided to sneak an attack on the sleeping giant ape to seize the sacred demon core. Han Li unleashes Free Yuan Slash, a magical technique combining free energies with potent force. The black demon ape is protected by a blood altar, which blocks most of Han Li's attacks. Han Li summons the soul-devouring firebird and golden energy blasts to assault the ape. A golden tornado levels the hall, but the blood altar remains intact. The ape dons purple battle armor and seizes Han Li's gold-devouring beetles. Before the ape, a purple shard hovers, within which lies something resembling a Jiao and a phoenix. Xuantian, a young woman of the crystal tribe, and the azure Qilin's phantom find the entrance to the spiritual cave. After the Qilin's phantom confirms it, Xuantian sets up a magic circle to open the spiritual cave. Xuantian uses the spirit blood of the eight-legged Yuan beast and the undying bird to form a blued orb, which she sends into the spiritual cave. The spiritual cave manifests a glowing face, swallows the spirit blood, and shows a look of satisfaction. Han Li engaged in a fierce battle with the demonic ape. The ape's purple severing blade and battle armor were formidable, but Han Li defended himself with his gold-devouring beetles and Saint Devil's true demon technique. The demonic ape boasted immense strength, and Han Li employed his ghost-howling bone bell and green sun cauldron to attack in an attempt to escape into his Chun-Li sword formation. However, the demonic ape's bloodbed, where it had previously been resting, materialized out of nowhere, smashing down and suppressing Han Li. He resisted with his physical body, but a white line appeared on his back, and a crimson arm pierced through his body. At that moment, a scarlet shadow emerged from the white line, mocking Han Li and preparing to devour his spiritual power. Han Li abruptly transformed into a green spiritual light and disappeared, leaving behind a verdant talisman on the crimson arm. Han Li realizes the demon ape's primordial spirit has not fully recovered and plans to gather help to encircle and kill it. The demon ape summons the purple ripped blade, transforming it into a giant sword to attack Han Li. Han Li uses the crystal small shield to resist, but is still knocked back by the aftershock. Han Li hides in the demonic chi, preparing to cast a great divine ability. The demon ape enters the demonic chi passage to chase after him, unexpectedly encountering a black mountain attack that suddenly disappears. Han Li forms hand seals, summoning thunder and a golden halo, and condenses the exorcism thunder bead. The demon ape recognizes the exorcism thunder bead and prepares to do everything in its power to stop Han Li from launching it. Two swords and a saber emerge from the ground, attacking the demon ape, which uses purple scar to defeat them. The demonic ape spews out essence energy, activating the spiritual object on the giant purple sword. The giant sword releases a powerful purple sword light, but is slowed down by Han Li's sword formation. Han Li drives the sword formation with all his strength, blocking the purple sword light, but the phantom of the spiritual object tears apart the azure lotus. Han Li injects a large amount of spiritual power, and the azure lotus continuously regenerates, finally exhausting the energy of the spiritual object's phantom. The demonic ape is apprehensive of the power of the sword formation and feels suffocated, losing all the treasures on its body. Han Li uses talismans and magic formula to change the sword formation, preparing to deal with the demonic ape's spiritual eyes. The demonic ape senses something strange. The Ji Lei Shu lightning summoning technique forms in the sky above the sword formation, releasing an astonishing aura. The purple giant sword blocks the golden lightning pillar as the demonic ape uses its demonic energy to fortify itself. Resisting the pressure from the lightning pillar, a green hand appears, shattering the purple light shield and knocking the demonic ape flying. The demonic ape is then enveloped in a brilliant lightning. A thin thread in the green arrow pierces through the golden light, injuring the demonic ape's primordial spirit. Han Li three-headed, six-armed Dharma form and his shadow puppets enter the sword formation. 6 golden fists, 2 golden swords, and a golden saber appear within the sword formation, attacking the ball of light. The ball of light ruptures, and a crimson rainbow flies out, revealing the demonic ape's primordial spirit. In its hand, it clutches a crimson fragment of the blade. Han Li encounters the legendary true spirit of the mountain ape and attempts to kill its nascent spirit with his devouring gold bugs. The demon ape uses the blood-colored broken blade to absorb true devilish chi, summoning a mass of black runes that fill the sword formation. The broken blade is fully repaired and exhibits 3 ancient golden characters that control the black runes. The demon ape wields the broken blade and absorbs all the runes, turning it pitch black like ink, possibly in profound heaven treasure. The profound heaven sword on Han Li's arm reacts and stirs. Han Li uses the profound heavenly fruit's power and unleashes a powerful sword light, suppressing the black waves unleashed by the demon ape's nascent soul. The two laws of power collide, destroying the spring dawn sword formation, while the dharma body of the demon ape's nascent soul is shattered. The demon ape's nascent soul realizes the existence of the profound heavenly fruit and escapes in panic. The profound heavenly fruit releases a dense green light that traps and crushes the demon ape's nascent soul, which is then swallowed by the black hole. After the profound heavenly fruit disappears, the strange phenomenon in the passageway fades away, leaving only surging demonic chi. Han Li recalls the green bamboo bee cloud sword, finding that it has only suffered some damage to its spiritual essence but no major injuries. Han Li acquires a Saint Rank demonic core to repair the fiend celestial armor. Han Li acquires a fragment of a purple spirit blade, suspecting it to be a profound heavenly treasure. Han Li mana and true devilish form are severely damaged. The fragment blade can use the laws of heaven and earth, but its power is weaker than the treasure sword transformed from the profound heavenly fruit. Han Li deduces that the fragment blade's incomplete state or a specific countermeasure may have reduced its power. Han Li discovers that the golden light from the Brahma Saint true devilish arts can control the fragment blade. Han Li discovered the profound heaven refining technique hidden within the blood altar. However, the technique was too advanced for him to cultivate. Han Li forcefully retrieved the golden jade pages from the blood altar and stored them away. Han Li left the hall and followed the devouring gold insect senses, heading towards the location where the young lady was. Demonic energy surged through the passage, and pitch-black wind blades shot out in all directions. Han Li's magnetic divine light was shattered, and his mana was restrained. He fell down and was attacked by the wind blades, but his physical body remained unharmed. Xuantian empowers a mortal receptacle and competes with a male of the Kui family for the source of the true Qilin. A giant, strange face claims to have devoured other invaders and attempts to engulf the pair to obtain their divine bodies. The strange face releases a black electrical arc that the male of the Kui family blocks and severs, while an azure Qilin's spectral figure swallows it in one gulp. The male of the Kui family proposes teaming up to deal with the strange face and dividing the source of the true Qilin equally, to which the azure Qilin's spectral figure agrees. Han Li's metal-devouring bug tracks down the enormous strange face, which shows caution in response. Xuantian reveals that the strange face lured in the demonic ape with the intention of devouring it. Xuantian uncovers the effects of the true unicorn origin, which stirs Han Li's interest. Xuantian proposes that Han Li help her kill the cave spirit in exchange for the true unicorn origin. The strange face mocks them, pointing out their abnormal bodies. The two incarnations of the Kuser-named man are torn apart by the black silk, and his subsidiary souls are completely absorbed. Xuantian's original body appears, becoming entangled with the black silk in a tense standoff. A gray, giant hand supports a colossal black foot. A golden lightning lotus contends with black electric arcs. An otherworldly beast unleashes its great engulfing technique, consuming Han Li in all his attacks. Han Li conjures the primordial magnetic divine mountain to counter the black hole, but the mountain is absorbed into it. Han Li summons another primordial magnetic divine mountain, but the beast unleashes its engulfing technique again. Han Li is absorbed into the dark abyss, his divine sense restricted. He defends with the azure lotus, crystal light barrier, and sword chi, but they prove ineffective. Han Li condenses a golden electric dragon and attacks, but it is absorbed by the black hole. The weeping soul beast transformed into a three-eyed ogre and released crimson chains, trapping the formless black gas. Weeping soul summoned a golden bone spear and imbued it with baleful aura, forming a divine punishment spear. The black gas self-destructed, a small portion escaping and being re-ensnared by the crimson threads. The golden divine punishment spear shot towards the black gas, revealing a demonic visage. The demonic visage claimed to be a soul fragment of the heavenly demon monarch and begged Han Li for mercy, offering to become his demonic slave. Han Li inquires about the origin of the demon that possessed the cave spirit. Upon learning that the demon claims to be an avatar of the heavenly demon monarch, Qianqian and the Guser-named man express surprise and fear. Han Li explains the demon's self-proclaimed identity before dying. Qianqian points out that the heavenly demon monarch is a top-tier demon lord who can control even true spirits with his powers. The Guser-named man states that cave spirits cannot be possessed by ordinary beings, suggesting that Han Li's account is credible. Qianqian raises doubts, but the Guser-named man theorizes that the heavenly demon monarch's avatar may have learned about the true dragon's source after devouring an escaped being. The remains transform into demonic dust, confirming that the demon was indeed possessed by the heavenly demon monarch. The Guser-named man warns that the demon monarch will interfere with Han Li's tribulation and ascension. But Han Li remains unfazed. The Guser-named man brings up the matter of the true dragon's source again, requesting more information. Han Li refuses to trade with the Jiyu man and instead teams up with the Jing woman to rescue the demon ape. The Jing woman uses a talisman and a magic flag to summon a Cyan Qilin projection to fight against the Jiyu man. The Jiyu man is defeated and flees, and the Jing woman thanks Han Li for his help. Han Li asks for the Saint-tier demon ape's materials, which the Jing woman agrees to give him, and she also gives him another gift. The two leave the mountain range and learn that fellow Taoist Yu may have fallen, so they decide to take the risk and return. A green-haired alien and withered man entered the valley to search, followed by an old man of the Yan surname and a woman in palace attire. The valley was deep and unfathomable, filled with thick devilish energy. The old man of the Yan surname was both surprised and delighted. A giant toad with a magic disc led a group of magical beasts to the valley. Responding to a report from a dragonfly-like magical beast, the toad group was not hopeful about the search result. But in the blood mist, a slender shadow followed them. Han Li and the crystal race woman cautiously entered the misty area where the human-faced vulture once appeared. Silverarm male with surname Gui is surrounded by numerous demonic beasts when Han Li and Xiandan happen to arrive. Gui is initially anxious but becomes relieved after Han Li shows up. Wu Kui, two-horned demon, recognizes Han Li and orders to capture him alive. Han Li, Xuantian, and Gui flee separately. Gui escapes on a blood chariot. Xuantian uses a small flag to release white light orbs to distract the demonic beasts. Wu Kui pursues Han Li, aided by a demon eagle and a cicada. Some high-level demonic beasts chase after Gui and the scattered white light orbs. One group of demonic beasts splits into 3 teams to chase after Han Li, Gui, and the light orbs, pursued by a group of demons. Han Li found that Wu Qi and the others were too slow to catch up. Little Beast Liu Li suggested leaving the 5 fastest demons to continue the chase while the others returned to standby. Han Li was pursued by 3 demons and gradually distanced himself, but could not shake them off. The demonic energy in the demon mountains restricted human divine consciousness and allowed for the demon's divine consciousness to explore a wider range. Han Li decided to act and entered the gray fog, using the Tai purification talisman to hide his body and wait for the demons to appear. The 3 demons used a bronze mirror to sense Han Li's disappearing aura and appeared on the edge of the gray fog. The giant hornet used the 1000 hornet incarnation technique to explore the sea of mist and encountered a golden shadow that was able to teleport using golden escaping light. The 3 demons chased the golden shadow separately. The azure hornet was attacked by the golden light and was rescued by the demonic eagle when it was in danger. A dark figure appeared and shattered the golden shadow's fist shadow, trapping the golden shadow and preventing it from escaping. The giant hornet cast the green threads and the demonic eagle shot a bone spear, killing the golden shadow. The 2-horned demon appeared, and the 3 demons' plan succeeded in eliminating a formidable enemy. Han Li killed the devil bee and the devil eagle, causing the twin-horned devil to flee in terror. Han Li used his extinction gaze and discovered that the twin-horned devil was hiding in the void. Han Li transformed into a thunder pung and pursued the twin-horned devil, who used a crystal light barrier for defense. The azure rock used its azure light to break the barrier and pierced through the twin-horned devil's black claw web. Han Li has already shaken off his pursuers but faces new problems. Han Li realizes that his pursuers will probably block the entrance but is not worried and believes that he can resolve this easily with his treasures and escape techniques. Han Li is concerned about the well-being of Xuantian but believes that she has unusual abilities and can get out of danger. Han Li speeds up his journey alone and gets rid of a low-level monster. Han Li discovers a burst of fire clouds in the distance but does not want to get involved in more interruptions and continues ahead. A purple beam of light shoots towards him and Han Li recognizes that it is Ji Xian and decides to capture her. Han Li unleashed the power of the divine essence of magnetism against the shadowy figure's bloody attacks. He caught a glimpse of his assailant, a woman clad in a blood-red gown. 3 peak stage Mahayana cultivators surrounded Han Li. Yan, the old man, inquired about Yu Zhang's whereabouts. Upon learning of his demise, he grew suspicious of Han Li. Han Li asked about their intentions and discovered they sought a certain fairy Kai. The trio attacked Han Li simultaneously. The woman in blood red summoned a blood red fan with raging flames. The green-haired alien used an archaic tripod, and Yan brandished a silver seal. Han Li summoned the essence of magnetism mountain, clashing it against Yan's silver seal and shattering it. Yan then defended himself against the magnetic mountain with a milky white veil. The green-haired alien spewed out a misty green essence, while the woman in blood red activated her blood fan. Han Li is attacked by the silver flame and the blood flame. He uses an eerie flame to devour the silver flame and breaks the blood flame. The woman in the blood-colored palace dress sacrifices a blood gourd to release blood water to fight the silver flame. Forming a stalemate, Han Li locks onto the green-haired foreigner and transforms into an electric arc. Rushing away, Han Li's azure sword light attacks the woman in the blood-colored palace dress and the elderly man surnamed Yan. The two are forced to defend. The green-haired foreigner sacrifices a bronze halberd to prepare for Han Li's 5-colored hand. Han Li's 5-colored hand grabs the bronze halberd, and the green-haired foreigner is panic-stricken. Han Li defeats the green-haired alien and collects the alien's magical treasure. The old man and the woman surnamed Yan see that the situation is not good, and do not dare to pursue Han Li. The giant toad iron-winged demon and the demon crocodile intend to pursue Han Li, but give up because he already escaped long ago. The woman in the blood-colored gown reveals that she has learned the whereabouts of the immortal mushroom and hopes that Han Li can take it away. The iron-winged demon and the demon crocodile separate to pursue Han Li and the old man surnamed Yan. Han Li thunder escape technique is caught up too, and he finds himself in a predicament. The vermilion toad unleashed intense flames, turning its surroundings into a blazing furnace. However, Han Li defended himself with silver flames and an electrical grid. Han Li employed the exorcism Divine Thunder, forcing the toad to abandon its attack and retreat into a pillar of fire. Han Li cast the Spring Dawn Sword Formation, creating a cyan light barrier that enveloped the sea of fire and blocked the toad's attacks. The toad launched a crimson lightning claw that tore through the light barrier, but was intercepted by an azure lotus floating in the void. The claw splintered into a halo of crimson light that shattered the azure lotus. Attempting to disrupt the sword formation, five-colored sword light clashed with the fusion divine ability, which was broken by the sword of spirit chi, and the giant toad's possessed body was destroyed. Han Li obtained a storage pouch from which he took out an unknown round pearl. The soul-devouring firebird swallowed the giant toad's flame. Han Li used the green lotus dharma treasure to neutralize the sword formation and used escape light to leave. Meanwhile, in a palace in the cloudy gold mountain range, a man in a blue robe, Tai Kongyun, learned that his avatar's possession had been destroyed. An old man in a silver robe, multi-eyed demonic, inquired about the avatar's strength, speculating that the one who destroyed the avatar must be formidable. The Nine Knight and Five Weeps from the Cyclops Fiend tribe pursue Zhishen. But Nine Knight is killed by Anna the cave spirit that is possessed by the extraterrestrial Fiend King. And Five Weeps is killed by Han Li. The remaining fiends chase after Han Li, while the Cyclops Fiends remains unaware of Zhishen's matter. The Cyclops Fiends ask Iron Wing Fiend and Bloodarm about Zhishen, and the two animals imply that Zhishen is a treasure from heaven and earth but do not reveal too many details. The Cyclops Fiends learn that the planar channel has changed, and they suspect that the Saint Ancestor from the Sacred Realm may have opened the channel again. The three fiends discuss countermeasures, and they believe that the Saint Ancestor may have a way to stop the planar changes. The stone door flashes, indicating that the Saint Ancestor has awakened, and the three fiends are surprised. After the stone door opens, the Saint Ancestor's voice is heard inviting the three fiends in. The Saint Lord decides to leave and orders the three devils to divide and supervise the arrangement of the magic circle, enhancing the interface power of the interface channel to prevent attacks from the Saint Realm. During the Saint Lord's slumber, three things happen in the mountain range. The Devil Ape steals a fragment of the destroyed Profound Heaven Rui blade, which the Saint Lord does not mind. The Nether Luo's mount, the Black Abyss Crocodile, is promoted to the Saint rank, and the Saint Lord decides to take it with him when he goes out. A mushroom fairy appears in the mountains, but the Saint Lord expresses no interest. The Saint Lord rewards the Blood Robe Man and the multi-eyed devil with the remaining two fragments of the Rui blade. The Saint Lord will leave the mountain range in a month. The three devils will still be responsible for handling the mountain range's affairs. Han Li reveals himself and is besieged by over 100 magical beasts, while the crystal race woman, Qianqian, also appears. The two use escaping arts to flee, but are met with a bombardment of black gas. With the help of his azure-white crystal thread art and Qianqian's silver talisman, Han Li successfully escapes the magical beast's ambush. The glassy beast discovers their escape and continues to set traps, waiting for other outsiders to arrive. Han Li and Qianqian leave the fog restriction, lamenting their meager gains and owing Qianqian a favor. Body integration cultivator. The old man surnamed Jiyu narrowly misses Han Li group and considers himself unlucky. Han Li and Qianqian enter Cloud City separately. During cultivation, the grotesque giant black crocodile is interrupted by the Saint Ancestor woman, Bao Hua, who learns that Black Crocodile has advanced to the saint rank and awakened the true blood of the evil dragon. Bao Hua informs Black Crocodile of Ming Luo's disappearance and invites him to accompany her for a while. Han Li returns to his cave in Cloud Dream Mountain and sleeps for 2 days and 2 nights. Waking up refreshed, he enters a secret chamber to process his gains from the Devil Gold Mountain range. Taking out a coiled, pitch-black object from his storage bracelet, the blue flames burned the devil ape for 3 days, extracting the mountain giant ape's essence and blood. The black and red monkey contained the aura of the wilderness and tried to escape, but it was captured by Han Li with the white silk into a jade bottle. The essence and blood were pure, and refining them could enhance the celestial punk transformation. Han Li restored his mana and prepared to explore the possible Xuantian treasure fragment. Ning Qingling looked through the fragment, discovering countless golden runes, but could not discern what else. Han Li believed that the fragment consumed less and was suitable as a hidden weapon. A blue glass bead emits an aura of pure water-based energy, possibly indicating it is the legendary glass water bead. The glass water bead can transform the cultivator's physique into a glass water body, greatly enhancing their water attribute cultivation methods and domain abilities. Han Li cannot use the glass water bead himself, but considering the connection between ice and water attributes, he gives it to his ice attribute puppet doll, hoping it will benefit her. After doll wears the glass water bead, she exhibits unusual behavior, her face changing before returning to normal as she absorbs the bead. Han Li has doll take care of the medicinal herb garden and move about freely, hoping her spiritual powers will increase. Obtaining the extraordinary celestial treasure, the 5 Extremes Mountain of Convergence, is pivotal for Han Li as it can aid him in withstanding the tribulation of heavenly lightning. Cultivators in the void refinement stage must face heavenly lightning tribulations every 3,000 years, with the difficulty increasing exponentially each time. The 5 Extremes Mountain of Convergence mitigates the power of the heavenly lightning, increasing Han Li's chances of surviving the tribulation. However, Han Li lacks the materials needed to refine the 5 Extremes Mountain of Convergence, making its creation extremely challenging. After asserting its strength in the Devil's Gold Mountains, the bewitching wailing beast fell unconscious, only to awaken with significant enhancements to its physical and magical abilities. It continues to exhibit transformative changes. Han Li discovers an enigmatic crystal grain emerging in the bewitching wailing beast's dantian, potentially linked to its metamorphosis. Pure essence of true spirit is a rare, chaotic spiritual energy that, when absorbed, can enhance cultivation. Refining pure essence of true spirit requires time, and once it forms into a crystal, it cannot be absorbed by others. Han Li discovers the pure essence of true spirit has crystallized, yet he attempts to refine it nonetheless. Han Li uses his Azure Infant Fire and Rune Formation to forge the crystal, but fails. The golden mist spirals out of control, and Han Li defends himself using his Divine Magnetic Light and Crystal Light Shield. The golden mist suddenly vanishes, escaping into the sky through a hole in the roof. The spiritual energy of the Spirit Mountain undergoes violent fluctuations, causing great spiritual motion. Han Li absorbs the unusable true dragon essence and feeds it to the soul-devouring beast to absorb. Han Li sets up a small magic array to prevent accidents. Han Li awakens the spirit immortal and extracts its spirit blood. Han Li conducts fusion experiments using various spirit liquids and spirit blood, but the results are unsatisfactory. Han Li speculates that the spirit immortal spirit blood has other uses and begins to ponder its other applications. Ji Xian proposed a condition: she would split her primordial spirit into 2, and Han Li would release most of her primordial spirit. Once she revealed the secret of her true body, Han Li would release the remaining primordial spirit. Han Li agreed to her condition and lifted some of the restrictions, but retained some mysterious restrictions and used the gold devouring beetle and the silver firebird as threats. Ji Xian swallowed the gold devouring beetle and the silver firebird, and after the restrictions were lifted, purple light burst forth, restoring some of her appearance and limbs. Ji Xian requested to take root in Han Li Herb Garden to absorb the spiritual energy of the nearby spirit herbs, which would accelerate the secret technique of primordial spirit division. Ji Xian used a purple light to capture a white rabbit, but the rabbit attacked her when she tried to touch it. Ji Xian used wood spiritual energy to soothe the rabbit, and it leapt into her arms. Ji Xian proposed giving the rabbit enlightenment and teaching it divine abilities, and Han Li agreed with the provision that a puppet supervise the process. Ji Xian entered the 9-turn spiritual ginseng while Han Li left the herb garden. Han Li went to the Crystal Woman's shop and retrieved the celestial demonic armor. Han Li and the Crystal Woman were teleported to a spatial rift. Inside the spatial rift, a large magic array was set up, with a blue copper cauldron as the array's eye, and the celestial demonic armor, covered in white mist, suspended above the cauldron. Han Li takes out the damaged purple magic armor and has Xuantian place it in the magic circle for repairs. During the repair process, Xuantian and Han Li inject their magic power into the magic circle, which results in a change in the magic circle and the magic banner. The armor draws the spiritual thoughts of a transborder demon. Due to Han Li evil warding divine thunder, the demon's spiritual thoughts are dispersed. However, Xuantian discovers that the armor may have a different origin, as no abnormalities are found on the armor after the repair. Han Li discovers Old Monster Shu and a teenager in front of his cave abode. Old Monster Shu has come to pay a visit, bringing the teenager Shu Lunqiang with him. Old Monster Shu inquires about Han Li's relationship with Elder Qianqian of the Myriad Age race. But Han Li remains evasive. Old Monster Shu reveals that he learned of Han Li's presence as a new neighbor on Spirit Mountain after he left seclusion, and that he deduced Han Li's connection to the celestial phenomena. Han Li denies any involvement with the celestial phenomena, but remains cautious in his heart. The young shaman has excellent aptitudes, but he cannot condense his life-bound spirit beast. Old Monster Shu discovers that the celestial qi in the sky can help his descendant condense his life-bound spirit beast, and he asks Han Li to help him form his cloud beast one more time. Han Li has very little true Qilin essence left, which he is saving to upgrade his weeping soul beast, so he refuses the request. Old Monster Shu offers to exchange treasures, offering 7 jade boxes filled with treasures. Han Li is moved by the offer and considers it. Han Li exchanges artifacts with Elder Shu. Han Li needs rare materials but finds it difficult to make requests considering the value of the true scale source. Elder Shu takes out the rare essence of flaming gold, which is worth more than the previous exchange items. Han Li agrees to the trade and compensates Elder Shu with 5 million spirit stones. Elder Shu proceeds to the mountaintop to gather Tian de Yuan Qi, while Han Li uses the artifacts to summon celestials. Han Li acquires the essence of flaming gold, gathering the main material needed to condense the Dharmakaya of the Brahma Saint. Shadow Demon and Water Ghost clans clash over their mastery of soul charm. Young man surnamed Weng concludes that the mole of Horned Ghost clan is still lurking in Cloud City and has been dormant for a long time. Cloud City faces the risk of a diagram of restrictions leaking, so the mole must be prevented from leaving. Qinjizi worries about the consequences of a prolonged martial law and proposes a more flexible strategy. Kai Liuying, a beautiful woman of the Crystal Clan, suggests a plan of looseness on the outside, tightness on the inside to pretend to relax the search while secretly sending more people to capture the mole. Young man surnamed Wing points out the flaws in this plan, worried that the mole might escape from the main entrance. The saint-ranked beings of the Skycloud continent convene a meeting to discuss the opening of the vast glacial realm. The decree for the vast glacial realm has appeared, and the omens of the vast glacial ceremony have emerged. But the invasion of the Horned Kai tribe poses a challenge. The saint-ranked beings of Cloud City decide to make preparations as per tradition, but they enhance their vigilance and enforce martial law in the restricted areas. Han Li meets with Kai Lu Ying, a beautiful widow from the Crystal Clan, who reveals that the vast glacial realm is about to open. Kai Lu Ying introduces her disciple, a woman with a primordial magnetic divine body, and states that she did not take her on as a disciple because of the vast glacial realm. Kai Lu Ying informs Han Li that the vast glacial realm will open in a month and warns him about precautions to take upon entering the realm, including avoiding extremely cold or hot areas, being wary of restrictions, and a dangerous crimson cloud. Han Li has the demonic infant reside in the Dharma body, using the demonic qi within the Dharma body to cultivate and assist in refining the Dharma body. The demonic infant's cultivation has reached the peak of the mid-nascent soul stage, and he is preparing to break through to the later stage once he enters the vast glacial realm. Han Li discovers that the spirit mushroom's body is an excellent material for refining an external incarnation and substitute, and its dharma power is forcibly raised to the mid-void refinement stage without any bottleneck by the coagulate spirit fluid. Han Li plans to refine the spirit mushroom's body into a substitute, and have his nascent soul reside in it to face the enemy, using the spirit body's heaven-reaching dharma power to resist powerful enemies. Han Li speculates that the spirit mushroom's body's dharma power increase may be limited, but he hopes it can reach the integration stage or the peak of the void refinement stage. Han Li has Quer temporarily leave the spirit mushroom's body, pours coagulate spirit fluid into the body, and has Quer slowly refine the spiritual power. Han Li receives orders to proceed to the opening of the vast glacial realm, escorted by 4 Void Refinement Realm alien cultivators sent by Grandmaster Qinji. The spirit carriage carrying Han Li makes its way towards Cloud City, which is under strict security with numerous restrictions and armored guards. The Azure Spirit Carriage arrives at the activation point for the vast glacial token. The area is heavily guarded and sealed off with multiple restrictions, protected by numerous high-ranking cultivators and automatons. The spirit carriage passes through the restricted passageway into an area covered in spatial restrictions, finally coming to a stop between two massive magic formations. Thousands of alien cultivators have gathered nearby, including armored guards and high-ranking cultivators, creating a grand spectacle. Han Li receives a rare treasure, sparking amazement among the attendees. Qianqian introduces Han Li companions, including Yu Shanzi, Shi Kun, Feng Xiao, and Yun Teng, all of whom are in the Void Refinement Realm. Han Li is assigned companions, including Shi Kun Master Duan Tianren's disciple and Lu Shui Master Kai Liuyan's disciple. Qianqian explains the taboos of the vast glacial realm and distributes treasures among the group for their use. At the formation of the vast glacial realm, the foreign cultivators were uneasy, remembering the many fallen from previous times. Han Li calmly looked toward the high sky, as the vast glacial realm opened after an astronomical phenomenon. Grandmaster Qinji instructed Han Li and Fairy Moon to activate the vast glacial order to open the formation's passage. Han Li formed hand seals to activate the vast glacial order, connecting it to the gold and silver token in the sky. Gold and silver light pillars shot into the black vortex, causing spatial fluctuations and gold and silver rifts. Han Li triggered his spiritual sense, and the foreign cultivators activated the formation, with 5-colored Sha light enveloping Han Li and others as they entered the rift. The trio decided to focus on cultivating the joint Yuanzi divine rays for half a month. After some searching, the trio discovered there were few islands near this sea region, and they were all occupied by demon beasts. Han Li discovered that they had flown millions of kilometers but had only found one island inhabited by demon beasts. He suspected that this sea region may be mysterious. The tentacled sea beast had a black-green pattern and was covered in wheel-like fleshy discs. Shi Kun stomped a foot and swung his sword, severing a tentacle, but the sea beast regenerated a new one. The sea beast roared as its tentacles transformed into a whirlwind of black shadows, engulfing Shi Kun. Lu Shui dove into the water to destroy the sea beast's original body. Shi Kun fought the tentacles on the island. Reaching a stalemate, the sea beast emitted an anguished roar, summoning a giant wave to attack the island. Han Li intervened, injecting a 5-colored cold flame into the light barrier to resist the wave. Han Li, Lu Shui, and Shi Kun prepared to practice a combined secret technique and must decide who will lead. Lu Shui proposes a contest of pure Yuan magnetic divine light to determine leadership, and Shi Kun agrees. Lu Shui utilizes her inborn Yuan magnetic physique, while Shi Kun uses his acquired Yuan magnetic physique. Their powers seem to be evenly matched. Shi Kun intensifies his attack, but Lu Shui counters with a special spell that summons a giant rune to defend herself. Shi Kun releases hundreds of gray orbs, and Lu Shuer's rune expands to dozens of meters wide to intercept them. The three traveled for 4 days, encountering a formidable sea beast during that time, and realizing that the dangers on land are greater. They reached the land on the 5th day, where suddenly a Zhu Yuan monster appeared. The monster's yell made their eardrums ache, causing their vital essences to boil. The monster's roar killed the fish in the surroundings, forming a gigantic whirlpool. Han Li and the other two got trapped. Unable to move, the monster released transparent sound waves, intending to devour the three. Han Li snorted, freeing the three from their predicament. Shi Kun and Lu Shui ran away, while Han Li stayed. An unknown colossal bird battled a sea-subduing ape, and Han Li, Lu Shui, and Shi Kun barely escaped in time. A 1,000-foot wave engulfed their former location as they safely made land. Shi Kun worried about the many ferocious beasts in the vast glacial realm, but Lu Shui believed they were just unlucky. Lu Shui and Shi Kun cast spells using the diagram of the vast glacial realm to locate themselves, and they discovered they were on the borders of the 9 deadly seas in the myriad foul territory. A group of 3 team up to traverse the forest of dark beasts, hoping to work together to ensure their success. 2 members of the Celestials, of a different race, encounter an ancient beast. After escaping, they try to locate themselves using a compass but are unable to determine their location and decide to keep moving forward. 3 members of the Celestials from different races join forces to escape the pursuit of a stag-headed, lion-bodied beast. A group of white-furred creatures ignore the wind and snow, Flying above a glacier, two men dressed in green robes use small red banners to attack a giant tree with a face like a demon. The tree emits a piercing screech and sprays a green liquid in defense. In the Dark Beast Forest, dark beasts possess enhanced nocturnal capabilities, doubling their strength and making it difficult for other strange beasts to invade. A giant python in the forest, the Azure Night Python, can also boost its strength at night, possessing strength comparable to an adult dark beast, but it comes at the cost of its lifespan and strength. The Azure Night Python and a young dark beast encounter each other at the forest's edge. Facing off in a tense standoff, the dark beast's claws are sharp and its tail can tear through space. While the Azure Night Python transforms, growing in size, its scales turning silver-white, a single horn sprouting from its head and its eyes glowing crimson. Once the Azure Night Python completes its transformation, the dark beast emerges from the darkness, its black claws slashing at the python's neck. In a one-on-one situation, Qi can defeat an ordinary adult shadow beast. In the Shadow Beast Forest, there are high-level shadow beasts, including the three-eyed shadow beast and the golden royal shadow beast. The former can release a deadly and Guiyi light, and the latter is very powerful. High-level shadow beasts patrol during the day, heavily guarded. At night, their strength increases, and they become less guarded. In order to avoid being surrounded by high-level shadow beasts, the group decided to travel at night and rest during the day. Lu Shui provided 3,000 transformations masks, which can transform people into other things, making them more difficult to detect. The three obtained 1,000 illusions faces and transformed into dark beasts to conceal their identities while setting off on the road. Qi cast the yellow cloud technique. Lu Shui cast the jade rat and white light techniques, while Han Li cast the azure bamboo bee's cloud sword, each concealing their auras. Several days later, Lu Shui captured a female dark beast, trapping it within a blue light barrier. Lu Shui fought fiercely against the dark beast, using blue light nets and threads to counter the dark beast's black light pillars and claw strikes. Han Li and Qi observed from outside the barrier, speculating on Lu Shui's motives for capturing the female dark beast. Approaching the heart of the dark beast forest, the trio of Han Li, Lu Shui, and Qi faces increased danger, as their inhibitions can no longer effectively counter the high-ranking three-eyed dark beasts. Faced with no other option, the trio employs the Yuan Magnetic Divine Light combined attack technique to deal with the high-ranking dark beasts. But they reserve its use for only the most desperate situations. They maintain their distance, camouflaging themselves as dark beasts while cautiously evading other monstrous creatures. However, they discover that the high-ranking three-eyed dark beasts are rarely encountered. Using his Spirit Eye divine ability, Han Li notices that Lu Shui and Qi ability to avoid the dark beasts is on par with his own, leading him to suspect that they may have cultivated 5 sense divine abilities or possess protective treasures. As the trio continues their journey, a golden figure suddenly emerges, striking Qi, who fails to react in time. Han Li, Lu Shui, and Qi encounter a lone king-level dark beast. Qi is injured but not seriously. The forest mutates, and countless dark beasts roar and approach rapidly. Han Li, Lu Shui, and Qi split up and flee. A high-level three-eyed dark beast appears and scans with its divine sense. Han Li avoids it using his stealth treasures. Qi and Lu Shui flee hastily, weakening the effects of their stealth. A golden king-level dark beast emerges, releasing a strong divine sense that suppresses the other high-level dark beasts. Han Li stops flying, and Lu Shui and Qi auras are detected by the golden-eyed king beast. Han Li used wind thunder wings to come to Lu Shui and Qi. Qi was wearing a battle armor and wielding double hammers, deploying divine abilities of the fire element to defend against attacks from 3 silver-eyed dark beasts. Lu Shui was wielding a silver shuttle and a silver armor Dharma idol, releasing sword Qi and silver stars to fight against 4 silver-eyed dark beasts. Han Li observed that Lu Shui and Qi weren't fighting at their utmost and that their expressions were grave, showing urgency. The reason was that they were in the center of the dark beast forest, worried that the king-level dark beast might come back at any moment, putting them in danger. Han Li realized that he had to win quickly and avoid getting entangled in a pursuit. The dark beast black butterfly is absorbed by the primal magnetic divine mountain. The shrunken dark beast erupts, attacking Qi and Han Li. The white python reveals its true form as a woman and attacks the dark beast with a jade fan. The primal magnetic divine mountain reappears, trapping the blue tide and black mountain peak. A two-headed, silver giant beast emerges, fixing the giant tide and black mountain peak in place with silver light. Han Li removes his veil, revealing his true form, and uses the heavenly astral seal and crystal shield to combat the giant beast. The silver eyes from one of the colossal beast's four heads fired silver threads at Lu Shui. Lu Shui used treasures like the white banner, golden drum, and ice lotus to resist the silver threads. Han Li and Shi Kun rushed there in time. Han Li cast silver flames, and Shi Kun deployed a copper mirror to neutralize the attack. Lu Shui displayed incredible divine power, transferring the silver beam to the colossal beast. The two sides fiercely battled again. Lu Shui initiated an incantation and vanished within a halo of light. The king-level shadow beast decides to prioritize chasing after its target over the intruders, entrusting the thried shadow beast to deal with them. Han Li uses his true devil form and profound sky-broken blade to easily slay the four-headed behemoth, causing Lu Shui and Shi Kun to be filled with fear. Han Li collects the behemoth's inner core, and discovers that the leopard scale beast is unusually interested in the silver-eyed shadow beast's inner core. So he lets it devour all the inner cores. A horde of dark beasts approached, their menacing presence weighing heavily on Han Li and his companions. Lu Shui proposed they split up to evade the creatures rather than engage them directly. Relying on his feather wings, Han Li nimbly avoided the dark beast's attacks. Lu Shui manipulated a crystal ball and a jade rat, creating defensive orbs of light to repel their beams. Shi Kun activated his battle armor, forming a shimmering rune screen as he fled at high speed beneath the ground. The dark beasts pursued Han Li, but he used his green bamboo bee cloud sword to dispatch those who intercepted him. Emerging victorious from the forest of dark beasts, Han Li found himself in an open plain. Employing his spirit eye's divine ability, Han Li scouted the surroundings and confirmed his safety. A Sea Tribe male wields a halberd and prepares to battle Shi Kun. Lu Shui and the Sea Tribe female dissuade the Sea Tribe male, warning him not to fight Shi Kun's group in order to ensure the success of their mission. The Sea Tribe female refrains from summoning the nine-eyed saint whale as her royal bloodline is not strong enough and frequent summoning could hinder their cause. Han Li secretly aids Shi Kun and Lu Shui but warns them of their low magic power and that they should proceed with caution. Lu Shui suggests to avoid the conflict, but the Sea Tribe male does not fully agree. The Sea Tribe female senses two unusual auras from Han Li and is alarmed. The three decide to separate, with the Sea Tribe siblings fleeing in another direction. The Sea Tribe siblings suspect Han Li has a Profound Heaven sacred artifact or Profound Heaven treasure as their own Profound Heaven sacred artifact reacted strongly. Lu Shui agrees to Han Li and Shi Kun's suggestion, and the three of them continue towards the ruins of the Forbidden Land. The three of them proceed with caution, occupying a cave with abundant spiritual energy for 3 days. Lu Shuer's magic power recovers, and the three of them set out to find the ruins of the Forbidden Land. Several days later, the three encounter a large number of strange birds, which they destroy with the help of treasures. Half a month later, the three approach a huge lake, where giant beasts frolic, and the three pass by carefully. A month later, the three encounter 4 aliens from the Night Clan in a fierce battle. The flesh-devouring butterflies appeared and became the nemesis of the silver tide worms. The three of them decided to flee separately, aiming for the ruins. The flesh-devouring butterflies and the silver tide worms fought a great battle, drowning and devouring the other beasts. The poisonous winds of the flesh-devouring butterflies were fierce but could not resist the massive force of the silver tide worms. The two fierce insects split into small groups and chased the other beasts. The silver tide worms pursued Han Li, and Han Li fled at full speed. After flying for a long time, Han Li looked back and saw no sign of the insects. The gold-devouring beetles rush into the swarm of silver bugs, easily devouring most of the enemies. The leader of the silver bugs self-destructs, releasing a faint silver phantom, but fails to escape and is killed by Han Li 5-colored cold flame. Han Li retracts the gold-devouring beetles, effortlessly eliminating all the ferocious bugs. Han Li discovers and kills a strange primordial spirit. Realizing that the situation is not good, Han Li changes direction, concealing his trail, and continues on his way. Han Li encounters 3 cyan carriages carrying a race of dwarves and cyan puppets. 6 black Confucianists on 3 war chariots team up to manipulate the Thunderbird puppet and engage in an intense battle against the electric eels of the Hornkai tribe. The Thunderbird puppet is no match for the silver giant disc and transforms into an electric arc to escape. Then launches a surprise attack on the Hornkai war chariots. Black Confucianists manipulate the puppet to fight the Hornkai tribe. And both sides suffer casualties. The Hornkai tribe sends reinforcements, who shoot down the Thunderbird puppet, forcing the Black Confucianists to flee with the damaged puppet and war chariots. The Hornkai tribe pursues, demonstrating their extraordinary divine powers and teleportation speed, while the Golden Horn Youth confidently hovers in the air, directing the chase. A mysterious young man uses illusion techniques to conceal his actions, which Han Li and Lu Shui discover but cannot investigate. Han Li and Lu Shui plan to set up a magic formation and surveillance to prevent any schemes by the Horned Demons. Han Li sends a spirit puppet to monitor the Horned Demons, while Lu Shui sends an iridescent spirit beast to assist. Han Li tested the strange Tai Chi green light restriction with his halberd and flying sword. But the restriction cut both weapons with its countless shadowy threads. Han Li guessed that the Tai Chi green light was related to the main material of the Yuanhe 5G mountain, the Tai Chi azure. So he decided to wait for Shi Kun to arrive, so that they could break the restriction together. Half a month later, Shi Kun arrived, but his face was pale and his essence severely depleted, as if he had encountered great danger on the way. Without saying much, Shi Kun entered the ruins of the hall along with Han Li and Lu Shui. Lu Shui deploys the 5-colored umbrella to form restrictions, shielding the fluctuation of the spirit pressure while breaking through the prohibitions. Shi Kun arranges the Jin Du spirit restricting formation and the Yin Po mother-child ring to augment their defenses. The 3 of them complete their preparations, planning to break through the restrictions immediately, considering it best to act as swiftly as possible. Lu Shui activates the Essence Magnetite Divine Radiance. Shi Kun offers the Essence Radiance token, and Han Li releases the Essence Magnetite Extreme Mountain. The 3 Essence Magnetite powers combine, forming a gigantic talisman that shatters the first layer of white mist in the restriction. Silver runes materialized, forming a black hole that absorbed yellow sand. A giant token and a light sword collaborated to break the 10th seal. A cyan light screen scroll emerged, releasing a flock of birds and Tai azure light. The light sword destroyed the birds but was countered by 5-color light flames. The magnetic mountain grew larger, suppressing the 5-color light flames. Tai azure mountain appeared, emitting azure light that transformed into a net of light to combat the magnetic mountain. Lu Shui unfurled a banner flag, causing gray lightning to strike the net of light. Tai azure mountain continuously replenished the net of light, leading to a stalemate between the 2 sides. Han Li, Lu Shui, and Shi Kun break open the restriction and enter the cave. After entering the cave, Han Li is transported to a high platform and discovers a purplish palace on a mountaintop hundreds of meters away. The high platform is surrounded by exotic flowers and plants, and there is a gentle breeze. However, there is a flight ban in place, and the resistance increases exponentially with each foot of ascent. Due to the hardships women faced, she has spent a lot of thought and effort on strengthening her physical body to increase her chances of success. Han Li, who is proficient in talisman scripts, believes that auxiliary talismans have very little effect on high-level cultivators. The 3 of them walked up the mountain path. The woman used strengthening talismans, but the effect was not good. Han Li acted calmly and looked very relaxed. Shi Kun, on the other hand, started to sweat profusely and his pace slowed down. Shi Kun realized that Han Li's physical body was much stronger than his own. Shi Kun took out a mysterious vial of blood and removed the talisman seal. Preparing to take the elixir,